Another tutorial, and in this tutorial we're gonna talk about iOS SwiftUI. Okay, so we'll use iOS SwiftUI to develop the iOS section of the UI. So as you know from my previous tutorial, Kotlin multi-platform does not provide any framework, any UI framework for developing your UI, right? So we need to use the natively provided UI frameworks for each platform. So in this tutorial we'll be focusing on iOS. So we'll be writing the UI for iOS using SwiftUI. Okay, SwiftUI is a declarative UI toolkit just like Jetpack Compose, so which will be working on iOS, macOS, TV OS, watchOS, and so it's really amazing. So we will not be in this tutorial will not try to talk you in detail about SwiftUI, because it's just the I will try to give you some basic introduction. Okay, so that I will just give you some basic tips, and I will just in the same way I will just try to also give the demonstration that I will be creating the same UI interface in SwiftUI, so that we will see that in Kotlin multi-platform that it really works, the application really works. Okay, so we'll be creating, this is the Android version of the UI, as you can see here. So we'll be using the same the UI will be not similar, but it will be pretty much performing in the similar manner. Like for example, the time picker will not be it will be the native native component provided by the iOS SwiftUI. So yeah, but we will be trying to create the UI, okay, and try to learn about SwiftUI. Okay, some just basic fundamentals. Okay, so obviously there are okay, so if you want to talk about the SwiftUI, we will also have to talk about the IDE, our famous IDE, that's Xcode, for building our application, Android iOS applications, right? So Xcode is Apple's integrated development environment for iOS, iPad OS, watchOS, macOS, and tvOS development. So you can actually for this application, time application, you can edit it either in Android Studio or Xcode. It depends on you. So but the better choice, my suggestion will be use the Xcode, because you will have also ability to preview your SwiftUI views. Okay, so which is like a plus point. So if you go to the Android Studio, you can also actually pretty much run your iOS version of your application just by your Android Studio. So you don't need to switch to the Xcode. Okay, so you just need to go and edit your configuration, just select your iOS configuration, iOS app, and you just need to select your execution target. So I have already done it, so I'm pretty okay. So if you have not done and you have not selected your execution target, I will suggest you to select your execution target going through your configuration, then just need to apply it, and now yeah, your iOS configuration is ready, and then you can pretty much just click here and run your application. And your application now similarly in this I am run is this application for Android. I can directly launch my application from Android Studio without switching the IDE, directly from the Android Studio. Okay, so this is something cool. So as you can see here, it's launching a iOS simulator, and it's gonna run the application. Okay, so this is the blank version of the application, but we will be just trying to upgrade it step by step to the similar UI that we have already made it for Android, right? Okay, so let me close my Android version, and now I will be focusing on just for the iOS. So we will be doing it step by step. So let me just go to my Xcode, because I think Xcode is the preferred way to do that. So I will be just going through the Xcode, and I will be opening my first application, which will be the time app. Okay, so as you can see in the code, I have the starting point of the Swift app is a structure, right? As you can see, this is the starting point of time app. that is marked with the main annotation here. And this main attribute above this structure will notify that it's a starting point of the SwiftUI app. Okay, so this structure usually implements the app protocol, as you can see here, and the app protocol requires you to create a variable name body that we have created here, a variable name body that returns a scene. As you can see here, it returns a scene. And what is a scene? A scene is a container for the root view of a view hierarchy, right? So it's a container for the root view. It's a container for the root view of your view hierarchy. A window group is a scene. So this is a scene actually. That means obviously it's returning a scene. And the window group is a scene and is also a container for your views, right? So it's also a container for your views. So like it's containing this content view, that is our view that we have created, right? And on iOS, this will contain only one window for iOS, okay, application. But for Mac OS and iPad OS, it can contain multiple windows. Okay, so this is what it is. So since it's a single expression, so you don't need a return type, okay, because it's a single expression, as you can see here. So the only important concept that you have to understand is whenever you have this main tag, that means your compiler is gonna know that is the starting point of your app. Okay, so this is the very main concept of SwiftUI, so that you have to understand. So and obviously, so this is the name that we have given for our app. There's a time app. And so now let's I have added this init code, this block of code, just to provide you to provide the color, like to change the color of the tab bar to the nice shade of blue. Okay, so this is just for our tab bar. And okay, so we should now focus on our content view that the window group is contained. So let me, if I jump to the definition, this is my content view. Okay, just want to reduce this. And okay, so what next, guys? So this is my content view. Okay, so obviously in this content view we have declared this state object, time zone items. Okay, so I have created the time zone items here. So if you jump to the definition, so the time zone items, I have just created a time zone items Swift file. So you will see that there are some observable objects here that publishes the list of time zone, right, time zones, and the selected time zones, right, as you can see here. It also asynchronously gets the list of time zones from the shared library. So I have imported the shared library. So this is the shared business logic that we have created in our previous tutorial, right? So let's go and go back to my content view, and here I have used a tab view. So tab view is a SwiftUI equivalent of Jetpack Compose bottom navigation bar. So it is almost like a bottom navigation bar of SwiftUI. Okay, so this is the bottom navigation version of SwiftUI. Okay, and obviously we have to implement the time view. Okay, but we'll be doing it in a while. So here I have to add my time view, okay, with the time zone view. Okay, so let me go and see the time zone view. So here I have to implement the time zone view, here the time zone view, I will add a tab items. So here my tab item will be consisting of some label. Okay, so my label will be time zones, and system image will be network. Okay, so this is my time label. So you can see also the preview directory here. Let me just zoom a while. Okay, as you can see, so this is on my okay, so obviously we have curated here a tab, SwiftUI tab view. So the first tab will be the time zone view. Okay, so this is my first tab. Okay, so we have applied a tab item here with the system network icon and the world time zones, right? This is the label. The icon is a network and this is a time zones, right? So the second tab will be the FindMeeting view that we haven't created yet, but we'll be creating. We'll create it in a while. Okay, so we'll do it okay in a while. So here I will also write to do kind of a we'll have to do the find time, like find meeting time tab view, meeting tab view. So to do, okay, so we have already done time zone view, so let me just, okay, so we have to do here this one. And so you see there are several ways to pass the object around to different views. Okay, here we pass the time zone items, right? Time zone items, like we pass it through an environmental object, right? So the users of this object, that is any child view, will declare a environmental object variable that will receive that object. Okay, so this is the situation here. So if you go and check out the time zone view, jump to the definition. So this is my definition of the time zone view, like what I have defined it here. You can just preview it also here. So you have particular preview here. It's a Swift UI view item. Okay, so we have just defined our environmental object as I told you before. So and the time zone items object is passed in from the content view. Okay, so this is pretty much passed from the content view. And we also create the instance of time zone helper. We get the current date, right? We create the timer to update every second, right? You see the timer here to update every second. And we create like a state variable on whether to show the time dialog or not, right? So this is the state variable. So this annotation of state is used for a simple structure type, and its state is saved between the readers. So any variable with this annotation property wrapper means that the current view owns this data, right? SwiftUI keep tracks of when this state variable changes and redraw the view when its value changes, right? So this is the situation. So okay, and okay, so we have done this. And what next? Okay, let me see. Okay, so obviously if you check out the body, it's consists of the navigation view, the vstack, right? We have the time card, you have the spacer here, then you have the list here that you have added, okay, and the spacer finally. And on receive the timer, you update your current date with the input, right? and your navigation title is the work logs, right? So you add the toolbar and that's it. So our navigation view allows you to display new screens with the title and will animate the view, right? And the vstack is a vertical stack. So vstack, what I have defined is a vertical stack. It is basically the same as a column in Jetpack Compose. So we also have your vertical stack will consist of a time card, spacer, and a list of items, right? For each like number time card, as you can see here, so that we have already created here. And so also we have some date formatter extensions like utilities function that we have created here. As you can see, a date formatter and short and long. And okay, so yeah, let me go and check out this list of time zones. Like your list of time zones are, we are pretty much creating a list of items that creates an array of selected time zones and create the card for each one, right? So it's create the card for each one, so number time card, and show the time zone in a very nice time card. As you can see, okay, let's number time card. Okay, jump to the definition. You can see the preview here. The time card will be pretty much similar like this one. It will be like this one. Okay, as you can see here, let me zoom it up. This is our number time card, which will be displaying here in an array. All right. So you also have the ability to delete and swipe, right? So as you can see here, your delete items. On delete, right? So we have made the list style to plain. Okay. So we also have added now, let's go and add the toolbar here. This is our toolbar section. As you can see here, it ends here. The toolbar, we have added a toolbar item, and it just contains a plus image here, system like plus image, right? So here, and finally we have a full screen cover here. This full screen cover is a way to present a full screen model view over your current view. So this will show the time zone dialog as a full screen sheet. Okay, since it's a model, there has to be a way to dismiss it. So there will be a dismiss button in the dialog for that, right? So we still need to implement this one. We'll be doing it in a while. And so button in the toolbar sets the show time dialog to true. So which is a state variable managed by the SwiftUI. When the value changes, the full screen model is shown. Okay, so next we have added our delete items, as you can see here, which obviously consist of like you have the index set here, and finds the time zone selected and removes it from your selected list, right? And okay, so yeah, let me run my application and see what's going on. Build succeeded, but I want to see my emulator. Still loading. Okay, here we have our application, right? If you click here, We have the still need to apply we still need to do the application there, right? Let me go back. Okay, let me rerun the application again. Okay, we still need to apply this, implement this, but as you can see, we have the first screen, right? Our first view of this application. So time zone dialog. Okay, okay, full screen cover. Okay, we still need to apply the time zone dialog. Okay, so let me go and apply this let me go to the yeah, we are here and we just need to apply this show time zone dialog. Okay, so let me just remove this, the image. No, full screen cover, it's not the image. We have to have a time zone dialog, but we have to also actually create this time zone dialog, right? So let me create this time zone dialog. Okay, let me create a new file, SwiftUI. Be creating a time zone dialog. Okay, so this is our time zone dialog. Okay, actually I have already created my time zone dialog, so I will just copy and paste it. Okay, and what I have to do is I just want to preview the time zone dialog with the environmental object and pass the time zone items, and let me preview it. Search bar. Okay, so we don't have a search bar, so we still need to also create another one, which is a search bar. Let's create another SwiftUI view, which is called search bar. So also search bar, I have already created this one. Okay, so just copy and paste it down here, which will be just acting like a search bar, and let me pass the text, which will be like a constant value of text, and let me just see the preview. Yeah, this is our search bar. As you can see, this is the preview. Okay, so this is the preview. This is working fine. So like time zone dialog, yeah, I have the search bar and I have the necessary informations here, like all the time zones, the list of time zones. As you can see here, you can just select among one of them. So this is our time zone dialog, which will consist of first thing is the search bar, and we have a list of time zone items, right, which we have in a horizontal stack, we just edit the image. That's a circle image, and then we have the time zone, right? The name of the time zone. We have a button to dismiss it, right? Okay, it's a very long list of time zones, okay, of entire world actually. And that's it. So this is our time zone. So we're gonna just implement this time zone in our time zone view, right? We just need to implement it here. Let's go and time zone dialog, the instance of time zone dialog, and environmental object. Just pass the time zone items. Okay, so if I rerun the application, so now I will whenever if I click this, I will be having these time zones. I can just pretty much search there, or I can just pretty much select there. All right. Or like we can select it, like I can just say India, yeah, and dismiss it. Yeah, you see just have added those two items, right? I can just swipe and delete as I told you. And yeah, this is it. So this section is implemented. So now we still need to move further. So now we need to also show the hours sheet, right? We want to show the hours that are available to the meeting, so like to meet up. So you can do that by showing the hours in the sheet, so which in this case is a model dialog. So this is a simple view with a list of hours and a dismiss button. So let's create a new SwiftUI view called hours sheet. Okay, new file, we're going to create a new SwiftUI view called hours sheet. So this hours sheet will be looking something like I have already created a hours sheet here, just so you guys. It will be looking something like this one. Okay, let me just preview it with some random hours, right? Like constant of 1 2 3. Okay, and let me just preview this. Okay, you have the found meeting hours, right? And you can just dismiss the button. So that's the hours sheet. So we need to just also integrate this hours sheet, right? Okay, so we have found meeting hours and everything. As you can see here, we have used the navigation view here, as you can see here, and a vertical stack, right, for the title, and then we have our the list for each hours, and we use the for each view to show the text view for each hour, right? For the text view for, and we will show the show a toolbar with a dismiss button, as you can see here, dismiss button, toolbar with a dismiss button, right? And yeah, so we need also another screen which is called find meeting screen. This is a screen where we can choose the hours we want to search for the meeting and then find the hours that works for everyone. So, and let's gonna create a new file called find meeting. So this will be our second screen. Okay, find meeting, create SwiftUI view. So And so here here we have to obviously first import our shared business logic. Okay, and obviously here also you need to add your necessary first thing is you need to add your necessary constants and helpers. So just added my necessary constants here, and you also need to update your body. So your body will be consisting of a navigation view, okay, with the content, sorry guys, this navigation view will be consisting of a vertical stack, and we have a spacer of a frame, height of 8, we have a form. So let's add the form. So my form will be this one that I have already created here, and I also need another spacer. Ignore this one, ignore. So we have another spacer. Okay, ignore this, man. Okay, and we have another button. Okay, and finally we have to close our vertical stack, and we just navigation title, find meeting time. So you have a sheet, we have a sheet. This sheet is presented will be, so our dialog, then we have a content. Okay, you can pass the content here, or you can just pass this as a lambda here. So hours sheet, we have now the hours as a meeting hours, right? That's it, and this also closes our navigation view. Okay, so this is a simple implementation of our FindMeeting, and you can just preview it, but I'm just having a problem. Ignore this one. Okay, I cannot preview it. Okay, let me just command build, rebuild this. Build succeeded. Okay, so this is working fine. So we have created our FindMeeting UI, right? So now let's go and go back to our content, let's go back to my, where is my main content view. Okay, as I told you, I need to also find meeting view, right? So I'm gonna add back my find meeting view. So add here find meeting, find meeting here, and then tab item, the tab item, the label will be find meeting meeting, and system image will be of a clock, and that's it guys. So let me just run this application now. Okay, yeah, we have the two tabs, as you can see. Time zones that is selected is white, and now find meeting. This is my find meeting time, so I can just click here, search. Now dismiss. I didn't find anyone, so I can start it from. Okay, you can just search it from here. We don't have any meeting here, so let me just first find select the Africa, search here for India, Mauritius. Okay, like let me also look for China, Asia, Kuching. Okay, and then finally cancel it, dismiss this one. We have elected set one, find meeting, time zone selected, search it. We didn't find any meeting. Why? Obviously because here I have done 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. Actually I have to switch it to AM, search it. We didn't find any. Yeah, Bangkok, Beirut. So I've added this one. Let's see, search it. We didn't find any meeting hours time, right? I want to it from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, you see, found meeting hours is 8 to 16. Okay, this is working fine, and that's it guys. So yeah, finally we have successfully created our application, like for iOS, time application for iOS. We have also successfully built our UI. As you can see, it's pretty looking cool, like and yeah, it makes sense, right? So it makes it's a cool view here, as you can see here. And yeah, of course, like there are some key points that we have learned from here, and these are SwiftUI is a. So finally I want to summarize my key points, okay, that I have discussed in this tutorial. Is SwiftUI is a new declarative UI to create UIs for Apple platform. Okay, so it's the first key point, and you can use Xcode or Android Studio to develop your SwiftUI code, obviously, for your Kotlin multi-platform mobile application development. So we use annotation state object, annotation object, observed object, and environmental object for holding the state. So another key point is we use SwiftUI views like vertical stack, horizontal stack, navigation view, and text to build our UIs. So we also use list views to show many items, right? So for each can return a view which can be used inside list as well as for other views, right? So you can use sheets and full screen cover for modal dialog type screens. And yeah, that's it. It was yeah, cool demonstration of this application, and hope you learned a lot. And please do subscribe me guys. If you like this video, please do share, comment if you have any questions, and please do subscribe it guys, so that it will help me motivated for creating more cool tutorials like this one guys, and catch you up in the next tutorial. Thank you guys.